Hello World Wide Web, I'm Shado, the internet personality with the best hair, and today I'd like to... God damn it!
Hello, Decker.
Still stuck together, aren't we?
Your razor-sharp observational skills never fail to astound. For clarification, yes, our reviews are still in fact entangled.
Well, did you at least try anything to break the spell?
Chibi Thulu is still researching it. There are a couple of leads, but I'd rather not delve into the details here.
In other words, I'm the only one giving an honest effort here!
No, I'm the one giving an honest effort. You're the one flailing about ineffectively.
Never mind, I've got to review Gamera vs. Barugon.
I believe I may know a couple of details about this one. Also known as War of the Monsters in the US, not to be confused with the Godzilla film of the same title, or Gamera vs. Jiger, which was also released as War of the Monsters, Gamera vs. Barugon released just 1 year after the original film in Japan in 1966, and sought to...
What the hell are you doing?
What? You always give a brief rundown before you dig into your reviews.
That's right. I always give a brief rundown. What's next? Plot details given by Chibi Thulu?
I'd be more than happy to, Decker.
No, I didn't mean...
Gamera vs. Barugon is a story about a monster named Gamera and another named Barugon, and they must fight! That's pretty much it. Your line, Decker.
Ugh.
Well, let's take a look at Gamera vs. Barugon and see...
Oh, for the love of... Am I going to have any lines in my review? The film opens up to the first Gamera, giving us a brief rundown of the original movie to catch the audience up. It turns out after the monster was launched into space, the rocket struck a meteor mere minutes after leaving Earth, rendering Plan Z a colossal failure as Gamera makes a U-turn heading right back to Japan. If you're gonna colorize a movie, at least try and do a good job at it.
No, actually. This one was filmed in color.
It was? What the hell happened?
The quality of the DVD release is... less than perfect.
Yeah, no shit, it looks like someone left a VHS out in the sun for 2 weeks, popped it in a CRT TV, and pointed a camcorder at it.
Gamera smashes the dam for good measure, and then goes out for a snack.
With the dam totally destroyed, Gamera senses that a volcano is erupting on the other side of the world. His love for flames pushes him hungrily toward the flow of molten lava.
See? He didn't need that burning trail of crumbs in the first movie. Not if he can sense a volcanic eruption from the other side of the planet.
Would you just drop that already?
Like you were willing to let go of the oxygenation of the planet 200 million years ago fact? The monster leaves the movie for a while, and we shift to Kojiro Hongo, who plays Keisuke Hirata.
Wait, what do you mean, leaves the movie?
Oh, that opening was just to establish that this is a Gamera movie.
Yeah, and therefore there will be a lot of Gamera smashing buildings and eating fire, right?
Nope.
What do you mean, no?
I mean, no. Gamera isn't nearly as active as you would think, considering his name received top billing in the title. Instead, the focus of the movie is Keisuke here. Keisuke lends his flying skills to his brother Ichiro, who hired Keisuke along with 2 others to return to an island where a magnificent opal was stashed during the war.
This transitions over to a boat ride so we can watch these sweaty, manly men mopping the floors of the ship, condensing the 25-day trip to one scene. Fast forwarding, the group lands on the island with their handy helicopter. Also, we're supposed to believe that during that entire month, Gamera was still on the other side of the world humping that volcano.
Are you sure you want to go there? I've got plenty of clips to pull from to illustrate that quite effectively.
Moving on, the 3 of them strangely encounter villagers in this village, and luckily enough, a young woman named Karen, played by Kyoko Inami, knows the language.
This is because a Japanese man by the name of Dr. Matsushita decided to move there 15 years ago, and not the fact that Kyoko is quite obviously Japanese herself.
I've set up an excellent laboratory, and Kara here is a wonderful help.
Oh shit, did we just transition into Island of Dr. Moreau territory?
As awesome as that sounds, no. The new monster in this movie is not a mad scientist's experiment. The man warns them not to go to the cave they seek, as it is where an evil spirit dwells. Instead of making out like they won't seek the cave and going anyway, the team brandishes their weapons at the tribe, making their intentions quite clear.
Fortunately, despite how many times it was stated that none must go there, the jungle happens to be outside the tribe's jurisdiction, giving the team plenty of time to find the location and bond as a group. Oh, come on, real quicksand doesn't work like that. The getting sucked in and can't get out myth was invented by Hollywood.
You're watching a movie about gigantic monsters fighting, and somehow their choice of sediment is what sets you off. Onodera, played by Koji Fujiyama, is saved by the others' quick thinking, and before long they find their cave, lovingly referred to by the natives as the Hill of Death.
Everything seems calm, but then...
Wow. I look more realistic than that thing.
This crisis averted, they begin their search for the opal. Before long, it's discovered by Kawajiri, who is ecstatic about the find. Then he makes a terrible mistake.
Wait till I show it to my wife.
He's got a family.
Alright then, countdown in 3, 2, 1... Stung by a scorpion, it doesn't take long before he succumbs to the poison. Onodera wants to take the opal now, but Keisuke has his suspicions about the man at this point, so he keeps the gun in exchange.
This does nothing to ensure his survival, as Onodera chucks a few spare bombs into the cavern to collapse the tunnel, escaping with the opal back to the ship. Wait, Keisuke was the pilot, right? How the hell did Onodera get back to the ship without the helicopter?
He's crafty?
Crafty my ass! If the quicksand scene is anything to go by, the man doesn't even know how to swim!
Similarly, the villagers manage to somehow dig Keisuke out of the cage by conveniently breaking their 1,000-year-old law to never go near it, while off-screen. It is now that Keisuke learns that the opal they found was no opal at all, but still not exactly what it is.
It is a bringer of evil and misfortune.
The problem with this is that it's still too vague a description. It's almost as bad as the internet personality with the best hair.
Hey! Onodera is enjoying his time on the ship with the opal, not feeling all that bad for a man with malaria, or looking all that bad, or acting. In fact, they make no attempt to have the malaria matter whatsoever. The real important issue here is his athlete's foot, which requires an infrared light to cure.
Turn it off after about 20 minutes.
Yes.
3 times a day until we get back to Japan.
All right. Thank you.
Don't forget.
There are many treatments for athlete's foot, ranging from highly effective topical creams to homeopathic wishing. But, what the hell is a lamp supposed to do for him?
It's a means to an end, Decker.
What are you talking about? Vicks Vapor Rub is more effective than this.
Not for the athlete's foot. Watch.
Oh.
It just so happened to be exactly what the pseudo-opal needed to hatch and unleash this movie's second monster upon the face of Japan. Barugon!
Oh, fuck, whatever happened to just tucking it under your pillow?
Barugon escapes from the barge and swims to shore, where she lays siege to Osaka using her extendable tongue.
I'm not the biggest fan of the design, but at least it's original.
Yeah. Who else would have thought to cross a rhinoceros with a dachshund?
Onodera is still convinced the opal must be on the ship, and tries to convince Ichiro to lend him the money to hire a diving team, but not in the smartest manner.
We're not joking around. I had to kill 2 men for that jewel.
Of course I had the opal! I murdered your brother for it! At Mahjong!
The real tragedy is that if it took the ship another month to return to Japan, Keisuke evidently made no attempt whatsoever to contact his brother in all that time. A fight breaks out, and the thief easily beats the handicapped combatant, stealing the money he needs and leaving the man to die.
We then shift back to Barugon, continuing their rampage, where it's revealed they have superpowers as well, including a freeze ray attack, and last but not least...
What?
You know what? Fuck it, I already gave up explaining logic in these movies when the rocket-powered turtle shell appeared.
Allow me, Decker.
Still with joy and rich in color, there are rainbows still been found there. You just take a look around there, making brand new friends. Bring a shining light to every face, shine for all to see, to make the world a brighter place. Rainbow bright and me.
That, was not necessary, Chitty Diloo.
I know.
Barugon's pride attack is powerful enough to attract Gamera, who accepts the rhinoceros dog creature's challenge to a fight.
Oh, fucking finally! He's been missing in this movie for 45 minutes, or, according to the movie's time frame, 2 months!
He's fashionably late?
I don't think it's fashionable anymore, and the party ended 6 weeks ago! They posture for a bit before Barugon lunges and the fight really gets going. The battle ends abruptly when Barugon gives Gamera the cold shoulder, encasing the turtle creature in a block of ice with freeze breath.
What now?
Motherfucking cockers. Shit! 10 minutes?! They couldn't give us 10 minutes before Gamera was frozen out of the movie again?!
Well, at least now we know where he is and what he's doing.
Oh, I'm sorry if I happen to win a little Gamera in my Gamera movie!
We then cut to Keisuke and Karen, who have tracked down the thief from before who doesn't believe for a second that the opal was Barugon's egg. Keisuke apparently has a thing for S&M games, as he ties the man up for a bit before leaving with Karen to head to the Japanese Defense Ministry with what they know.
According to the New Guinea tradition, the monster Barugon will follow a shimmering 6,000-carat diamond anywhere. Since he cannot live in water, he is being lured to Lake Biwa by the brilliant gem.
Wait, how the fuck did they find all this out?
Karen explained it. Off screen, of course.
And how did she know any of this?
Island natives are seemingly well prepared for kaiju attacks.
I see. So, what was stopping the natives with doing away with the egg so that the monster couldn't go on a rampage in the first place?
Because if they did, we wouldn't have much of a plot.
It doesn't matter though, the diamond lure plan fails anyway.
It was discovered that the infrared rays Barugon had been exposed to while in his shell had so enlarged him that he could no longer be lured by the diamond.
What?
Helicopters dropped artificial rain on him for days.
The fuck? What for?
Weakened by the water, he could inflict no damage.
Are you telling me it can swim in the Kobe Harbor with no problem, but a spring shower slows it down?
There you go, trying to rationalize the movie's convoluted plot twists again.
I can't help it! First we had spinning turtle shells that break the pull of gravity, and then rainbow beams as a frontal attack, and now this! Now does rainwater detrimental to it! Somebody better explain this to me right now!
I think we should duck and cover. It looks like Mount Decker is about to erupt.
The Defense Force learns that because infrared rays dulled Barugon's sensitivity to diamonds, their newly enhanced infrared beams should work much better.
It's working! It's working!
However, the thief from earlier managed to escape from Keisuke's bondage trap and learns of the operation. Slipping through the military barrier, he swipes the diamond.
The one thing the military operation needs to succeed, so of course they let whatever shady character that happens to pass by through so that he can cock the whole thing up.
Don't worry, Decker. This guy's not going anywhere except down.
Right, so he still can be waist deep in water, and that's perfectly fine, but rain, ooh, paralyzing.
I'm gonna have to agree here. It's one thing to establish weird character traits, it's another to break the rules of said traits, and it's a whole other thing to do so within the same movie they were introduced. Leaving the military scene in defeat, Keisuke and Karen return to the site of Barugon's first rampage, where they discover something strange. It seems that all the mirrors in the area were left intact. Keisuke deduces that mirrors can reflect the rainbow ray.
Learning this, the military decides to waste more of the taxpayers' money by erecting a giant mirror in front of Barugon. So their plan is to bank everyone on the off chance that Barugon is stupid enough to fire the rainbow ray at the mirror and kill itself.
That, or the monster will give herself 7 years of bad luck.
Surprisingly, the operation is a success. But wouldn't you know it, the blast wasn't powerful enough to outright kill Barugon. And no, the creature is not enough of a fool to do it a second time.
Back in Osaka, the ice surrounding Gamera begins to thaw, freeing the turtle giant. Gamera then flies off to Barugon's location so the Kaiju Titans can have their climactic showdown.
What did I say before about doing that, Chibi-Thulu?
I believe it involved a word that serves as a euphemism for intercourse. Are you offering? I don't know how to tell you this, Decker, but you're not really my type.
They fight in the lake for a bit, but Barugon doesn't suffer all that much from the water, and despite the fact that it's the rainbow that has been defeated, not the ice beam, fortunately for Gamera, the monster just doesn't feel like fighting back all that much. Both kaiju are dragged down to the depths of the lake that is now suddenly detrimental for the creature.
Taste the rainbow.
He's been defeated completely.
Meaning the movie ends with one monster still alive and ready to ravage Japan at its leisure. Well, that was Gamera vs. Barugon, and, it's got its moments. While the movie, or at least the version I have of it, shoehorned in several very important plot points and then proceeded to break its own established rules, often switching between active or not within the same scene, the plot at its heart actually is a lot more cohesive this time around than the originals. It helps that the human characters feel a lot more fleshed out. Sure, this time we don't personally know details about the scientists or the military, but that's forgivable as we do get to have some emotional investment in a manageable cast of characters for the main events. The biggest problem I have with this, or as you may say, crime this movie has committed, is the severe lack of the title character. Oh, not Barugon, we got plenty of Barugon, but Gamera was missing for 80% of the movie, and when he finally did arrive, he was frozen solid almost immediately and never brought up again until the climax. I feel like this would have worked better as being just a Barugon movie, as the creature is interesting enough and humans could have defeated it on their own. Actually, maybe that last part needed changing. How threatening is a monster that can be subdued by a sprinkler? At the end of the day, Gamera vs. Barugon is entertaining but disappointing in a lot of ways, and the whole first half of the movie is so dull and drawn out, it comes in at 2 tongue lashings out of 5.
I'll go ahead and say it. The design for Barugon is weird. I can't quite bring myself to get past the bizarre combo platter creature design that seems to consist of rhinoceros and canine. The creature's abilities, on the other hand, are rather entertaining. Having Barugon incapacitate Gamera early on to show off the creature's threat level and allow Gamera to ride to the rescue at the end may seem like a good idea. The problem lies in the same issue the last Gamera film had, that being the human characters are pretty tedious. In the end, Gamera vs. Barugon feels like a film that had a lot of interesting concepts and moments, but fails to deliver due to the imbalance of screen time between the title characters. If the action had been better paced and the human characters less one-dimensional, this could have been a sequel on par to the original. However, with what we're given to work with, I can't rate Gamera vs. Barugon any higher than 2.5 stolen monster eggs out of 5. It could have been worse, but if that's the most flattering thing one has to say, the remaining films won't be anything to look forward to.
Well, at least if the later Gamera movies remember to put Gamera in them, I'm sure I'll find something to enjoy. They will remember to put Gamera in them, won't they?
You tell me. You're the one who set out to review Kaiju films all month long.
But don't talk down to me, it's a lot better than gay porn and Scooby-Doo.
A lot of people would disagree with you on that.
Never mind! Thank you all for watching, I'm Shado, and remember, a Kaiju brawl is a lot like a crossover. You need a healthy mix of both participants in order to keep it entertaining.
Does that mean I get to do my send-off too?
No.
You can stick it out. Well, we're not complaining. It's wonderful. We even get to clean the latrines. Why don't you try it?
Okay, so time travel was a bust. There has to be another scientific method I can use to neutralize this magical mess. There's always light speed travel. Isn't really useful in this case, unless I want to fly around Earth backwards at the speed of light. Freeze razor out. It's teleportation, but I haven't really worked all the kinks out of that one. And I don't suppose there's any blue alien women from space willing to give me a hand. Maybe if I cross-reference teleportation with mass separation on Google, I'll come up with a link that can... Hey, what the crap?